The film begins by introducing 7 teenagers who are vacationing at a cabin near a lake. Among them are Tom, who is in a relationship with Beth, Kenny, who is in a relationship with Mary, Matt, who is in a relationship with Ashley, and finally, there's Tyler. The cabin is owned by Matt's grandmother. They all begin to enjoy the peaceful atmosphere of the holiday, laughing and having fun together. One day, while exploring the cabin, they come across an unusual game shaped like an octagon, with a skull image on each of its sides. Along with the game, they also find a set of instructions on how to play. The game is called the Game of Death. The instructions state that each player must place their index fingers on each of the skulls. As they proceed, the game presents 2 possible choices: kill or be killed. Without reading the instructions thoroughly, they hastily follow the directions, placing their fingers on the marked skulls, and the game begins. As the game progressed, suddenly a needle shot out and pierced their index fingers, causing small but painful wounds. It quickly became apparent that the game board seemed to require human blood as a prerequisite for starting the game. After drawing their blood, the number 24 appeared on the screen. Initially, they were completely confused, not understanding what had just occurred. However, upon realizing the dangerous nature of the game, they decided to stop playing and simply try to enjoy the rest of their vacation. In an attempt to lighten the mood, Matt challenged everyone to a drinking game, daring them to gulp down alcohol in one go. At first, the challenge seemed harmless, with everyone laughing and enjoying the moment. But when it was Matt's turn, he suddenly clutched his head in pain. Within moments, something terrifying happened. Matt's head exploded violently without warning. The group was thrown into a state of panic, with some of them thinking that someone had shot Matt. Meanwhile, Tom and Beth, who were in the living room, turned their attention to the game screen, which had initially displayed 24, only to see the number change to 23. Their panic grew as they realized what had just happened and saw their friends covered in blood. In the midst of the chaos, Ashley, desperate to understand what was going on, decided to call the police. However, she found herself unable to give them the cabin's address, as it belonged to Matt's grandmother. And now that Matt was dead, they couldn't provide a clear location. This caused a delay, making it harder for the authorities to track their location. Shortly afterward, a neighbor, who had heard the loud noise and commotion, arrived at the cabin to check on the teenagers. Tom rushed to open the door, immediately suspecting that the neighbor might have been involved in Matt's death. Fearing the worst, Tom forced the neighbor into the cabin. Meanwhile, Kenny started acting increasingly strange. Just as they were trying to make sense of the situation, Kenny's head began to swell unnaturally, and before anyone could react, it exploded in a horrifying burst. Tom, in shock, immediately checked the game, and he saw that the number had shifted from 23 to 22. Realizing that the game required them to kill 22 people, Tom concluded that if they failed to kill others within the time limit, the game would claim the lives of those who had started it. To confirm his theory, Tom immediately killed the neighbor, and the number on the screen changed again to 21. Now terrified that they were all at risk of becoming the next victims, the group made the desperate decision to leave the cabin and hunt down random people to kill, in order to survive and break the deadly cycle. At first, Mary suggested that they go to the police for help, but the group was unsure of what to tell them. After all, the police wouldn't believe them about a game that could kill people. As they made their way out, they encountered someone jogging. Tom immediately told Tyler to run the person over. Initially, Tyler hesitated, but with Tom threatening him with a gun, Tyler reluctantly drove the car into the jogger and ran over him several times, killing him instantly. The number on the game screen changed from 21 to 20. At that moment, another jogger appeared, and without hesitation, Tom shot him dead. The number on the screen dropped to 19. Unexpectedly, a forest ranger appeared, passing by in his vehicle. The ranger was confused by the sight of the teenagers, all covered in blood, and stopped to investigate. He got out of his car and asked what had happened. They quickly made up a story, claiming they were just playing a harmless game and there was nothing to worry about. However, while they were talking, Mary, sitting in the car, suddenly died as her head exploded. Now, the number on the screen showed 18, meaning there were still 18 more people to kill. Tom quickly realized they couldn't afford to stay idle. If they didn't continue killing, someone else would be next to die. Wanting to survive, Tom and Beth decided to go to the hospital, leaving Tyler and Ashley behind. The hospital seemed like a good place because it was full of potential victims. As soon as Tom and Beth left, Tyler began feeling intense pain in his head, and his skull started to swell. Realizing that Tyler was about to die, Ashley made a split-second decision to kill the forest ranger to save him. After she shot him, Tyler miraculously recovered, and the number dropped to 17. Using the ranger's police vehicle, Ashley and Tyler quickly chased after Tom to stop his plan of murdering innocent patients at the hospital. In the meantime, Tom and Beth had arrived at the hospital. Desperate to survive, they split up and began to kill as many innocent patients as they could. Returning to Ashley and Tyler, after a long journey, they finally arrived at the hospital. However, it was already too late, as Tom and Beth had already killed several patients and hospital staff. Ashley and Tyler quickly instructed the front office staff to call the police immediately because there was an urgent situation. The staff, looking confused, made the call to the authorities. Afterward, Ashley and Tyler began searching for Tom and Beth. Eventually, they found Beth, who was about to kill an innocent child. Fortunately, Ashley arrived just in time to stop her, shooting Beth with a shotgun. After Beth's death, Tom was devastated, seeing his girlfriend, Beth, dead. Filled with rage and sorrow, Tom became consumed by revenge against Ashley. He tried to kill her, but Tyler intervened. In the ensuing struggle, Tyler emerged victorious, and Tom succumbed to his wounds from losing too much blood. After the chaos and killings at the hospital, the game displayed the number 1, meaning there was only one person left to kill. With no one else remaining, Ashley decided to betray Tyler. She aimed the gun at him, unwilling to die. Desperate to survive, Ashley fired the gun at Tyler. The game ended, and Ashley was declared the winner. A congratulatory card appeared for Ashley, signaling her victory. Not long after, a swarm of police officers arrived at the hospital to arrest her. Given the series of murders that had taken place, Ashley was likely to be charged with all the killings. There was a strong possibility that she would face the harshest punishment, including the death penalty for her actions. The final scene shows several police officers celebrating Christmas. While exchanging gifts, one officer unexpectedly receives the deadly game. Unaware of the horrific consequences, he begins to suggest playing it with his colleagues. And just like that, the story ends.